What's up, everybody? BigHerc916. You know how we do it over here. Positivity, motivation, never settle for average. Some of you guys were asking for me to speak on the Diddy verdict, and I spoke on it over on Fresh Out, but I'll speak on it over here too. For the most part, I thought this was a domestic violence situation, but obviously the feds saw it another way, and they wanted to kind of spank one of their people and let them know that, you know, there's certain things you can do and you can't do. And by putting those charges on there, they gave the man a scare, but he was able to get acquitted of RICO. But paying for the males to come bust Cassie's cheeks was a crime. And I don't know of any guy that's straight that I ever heard that felt he was used when getting some paper to go bust some hot females' cheeks. You tell me if you ever heard of that. Would you look at that as being a crime? I know some of you guys, oh, it's a crime. Well, in the books, it's a crime, but being able to come and fly in and bust some cheeks and get paid, man, look, I'm not saying that you should be doing it, but it goes down. And in the male world, I don't know of any guys who felt that they were under any type of pressure to bust cheeks when there's a paycheck. But that's another video. And you know, the people who were really at stake here never were brought on the indictment. There were associates of Diddy's who were complicit in orchestrating these freak offs. And the whole thing about the higher ups is all about blackmail, bro. Everything's about blackmail. Whether you're male, female, you're in a power position. If you're just a little guy, it doesn't matter. But once you start making your way through the ranks, unless you're tied into some very influential families, then if you're a guy who's kind of like a renegade, but you're smart, you done make some moves, and they want to somehow control you, they're going to somehow entice you into some of these events. And if you go to these events, do not be surprised to see people you looked up to getting their booties blown out or participating in sword fighting, tug of war. These are things that happen at these events, man. You know, and most of these people, they're there because they want to be a part of the freakery, the debauchery. Going back even in time, if you look at, you know, Greece, Rome, you know, the royals in England, they always had freak offs. There was always freak offs, man. People were freaking doing stuff. You know, it ain't nothing new. You know, most of these people who so-called so super religious freak off behind closed doors, the freakiest, tied up, got they wee in a vice, and they just on some real weirdo stuff because they're so pent up and they're living such a duality that that's how they get off. And when you hear all these stories like, oh my God, what are they doing? This debauchery. Well, as you done did everything, these people go to other stuff, you know, watching, you know, being strung upside down, being spanked, being whatever, you know, they go and take their kinks to another level that the average person can't imagine, because the average person worried about gas prices and the price of milk. They worried about just having once a week sex with their wife or their girlfriend who have them on sex restriction. Or they watching Pornhub fantasizing. See, when you've been around the industry and you hear stories and, you know, you talk to females who have entertained politicians, dignitaries, celebrities, it doesn't surprise me. This stuff didn't surprise me. The trial outcome, like I said, dude, he's an agent to some degree because he was able to go through the ranks, and he's not your average entertainer. Billionaire, yachts, international, private jets. Come on, man. That's a different level. People can't even imagine that lifestyle. And then they're like, oh man. And like I said, I'm not justifying whatever behavior as far as abusive behavior towards women. That's some sucker shit. I would never put my hands on a woman. Look, I ain't got time. Kick rocks. Ain't no fighting. Ain't no hitting. You don't want to do something, go home. I'm cool. We're out. Boom. I'm ghosting. But, to try to like dominate, control somebody, and, those guys who, oh man, wear this, do that. And, they got little wee-wees. They insecure. They can't even bust cheeks. Them dudes who are trying to control females like that, most of the time, they can't even get it up. They get off somebody else dominating, and that's what turns them on because they want to be that guy. They're projecting themselves into the dude who's punishing them. Like, what's the guy, the Punisher? He was coming through and he left, he said 6 Flags when he got a call from Cassie because, he didn't want to miss out and have somebody else come over there and bust some cheeks. But he's projecting himself to be that guy, watching him, and then when that guy gets done, he has a visual of now what he wants to do to his female based on what he just watched. But he's really a weenie. There's a lot of them out there. Money man balling, and they girl is not getting their backs blown out. And that's where the dudes come in. The Hammers, the Thors, the Barbarians. And this trial showed you what barbarians are made of and why they are called to service. It's comedy to me, man. He'll do what they said the charges carry anywhere from 40 something months to 50 something months, 60 months each. He probably ended up at the judge's discretion. He didn't tell on nobody. So he do what, maybe 5 years in a camp. He'll get some type of pardon or commutation or something. And then all the people that shitted on him, what are they going to do? See, that's the thing. When people shit on you, when I caught my bank robbery, man, oh man, that nigga's crazy. I knew he was out there doing some wild shit. Oh man, boop, boop, bop, people throw you under the bus. I wasn't doing no sexual shit like that, but I'm talking about like on some gangster shit. People throw you under the bus because, you are one. And okay, cool. But when they pop up and then they like, oh man, you're doing your thing. They kind of trying to get in your good graces. You already know. The ones who kept writing you, visiting you, supporting you, giving you hope. People letting you know that if you got out, you're going to be all right. Those are the people, and he has a handful of those people who stuck by him, who wrote it out, people who didn't shit on him. And, I'm sure this guy has, assets and trust and, shelters. He's not broke. He's going to get out and still shine. And interviews, redemption story, all that stuff is going to be part of the next chapter. And who knows what's going to happen from here? Because who could have predicted this 10 years ago? Who could have predicted it? Nobody. And here we are. P. Diddy, after the Tupac thing, the Biggie thing, all the stuff with, make it of the band. And now you have this. So, yeah, man, the game is very sexual. I told you guys before, the reason you don't hear about more men talking about this aspect of the game, because what they have to do is usually some gay stuff. They got to let somebody play with their butt, somebody tug on they wheelie, they wee-wee. They got to go and let this dude, do something to them they don't want to let them do to get the position. And they wearing all these, high-end clothing, and they're covering magazines. They got a hot girl, but in the back of their mind, they got to deal with the fact that how they got there. And could they have done it without it? And the answer probably is no, because it's a power game. That game is controlled by power players, man. A lot of the Hollywood stuff, if you want to be in front of the camera, you got to do some sacrifices, man. I done been on a lot of auditions, and I heard what some of these women would do on auditions, and I've seen how people run auditions, and I've seen like hitting like video, like, wow, this is what they were really doing. This shit is crazy, man. It's nothing like what you guys think. You guys, oh man. And I'm not saying every actor and actress, but certain ones that, hey, this and that, man, they have risen to the top through doing what they felt they had to do. And I'm not judging. I'm not here to try to make it seem like, anybody's less of a person if you're doing this or doing that, but the game is what it is. And once you understand it, you realize if you want to play, you got to be ready to play. P. Diddy's playing a high-power game. High-power game, man. He was in everything from entertainment to, the alcohol game. And that's a major, you're talking old school, $1 trillion game. People have been drinking since who knows when, beginning of the time. So, you guys, a lot of people, the entertainment, oh my God, P. Diddy, this and that. Oh, they're going to put you in your place. Look, everybody has a place. You get out of hand, you think you're bigger than what you are. They got something for you, man. They're going to let you know that we run this shit. So you always answer to somebody. And when you think you don't, then you find yourself in situations like this. There's no different than big cartels. They know who's moving what. The big guys, the leaders overseas, these guys running these different organizations, man, they meet with these people in private, let them know we know what you're doing. You want to keep doing it, you do it like this, and then you pay us, and then this and that. That's how it works, man. You guys, it's like you're caught up in your emotions, and oh man, he did. Look, man, some of these guys, what they're doing to some of these different people is disgusting. Disgusting, man. Some of these marrying off some of these young women and doing this and the trafficking is horrible, but nobody brings them to justice. It's disgusting. So they throw you stuff like this to keep you entertained because it's flash and dash, but where are the really nasty ones at? Bring them to justice. Put them out here. The ones who run around here who are smiling and they got these suits on with their collars up and they walking around like they're just so, prestigious, and they're really pieces of shit. Bring them to justice, man. Bring some real ones to justice. You're not going to see it though, because that's the game. The game continues. It's sad. It's dirty. It's not just America, it's the world. But, just recognize that it's bigger than this trial. It's bigger than the verdict. Everybody thought this guy was going to get Epsteined, but he kept his mouth shut. And, obviously, he's got that something protecting him, he doubled up. So, hey, man, BigHerc916, leave a message, leave a comment, share this video. Let's blow it up. And like I said, man, I'm not here trying to defend the man. I'm not here judging the man. It is what it is. You guys seen it. People have judged me. Oh man, you used to do that. I did a lot of gangster shit and offended people, man, and I'm not proud of it. And I'm not trying to sit here and say like, oh man, I'm better than anybody else. I'm just being me, but at least I keep it real. I don't lie. I don't come on here and try to act like I'm this or, oh man, you got these guys that, who are trying to bring all the bullshit to you guys. I bring it the real and I own up to my shit, and I don't try to talk down on anybody. I just share what I've experienced and what I see the game as, because I got played in the game. I bought into the game. I got played. Fortunately, I didn't lose my life, so I can share and try to educate you guys on the bigger picture. But I got caught up in it, man, and people, oh man, you knew. Yeah, I knew better, but I still made mistakes. You get pulled into something, man, it's strong. You get possessed. And then when that spirit leaves you and you're sitting there and you're like, oh man, what happened? Whoa, what am I doing? It's like the dude who wakes up in a hotel room, drugs everywhere. He's like, what happened? Yeah, you got possessed, bro. And it's real shit. You get possessed. You get caught up in that shit and something overtakes you and, uses your vessel for whatever it's doing. And then it bones out once it's done with you. And then you're like, oh man, trying to get sanctified. Well, you might want to try to get sanctified a little bit earlier and keep a balance so you don't get pulled into the layer. They pull you into that layer, you wind up in a situation or somewhere and you wonder how you got there. Then you're praying to God, and God at that point is like, I tried to show you, but now you gotta sit there for a while. And it's a hard sit. It's a hard sit, man. I sat there and I'm like, man, over and over again, trying to go home early, and you just gotta sit. So you're on God's time, man. I keep it real though. I don't try to be like, oh man, you gotta look, do you be religious, be spiritual, whatever you want to do. I'm not trying to preach to you. A lot of these people, they trying to preach and they living lives. They're just with their partners because the marriage is fake. I'm keeping it 100. BigHerc916, man. Don't forget to stop by the BigHerc916 store and pick you up a sticker for your car, or a patch, or a sticker for your laptop, or maybe a beanie, or read one of the many books that BigHerc916 has authored. You know how we do it. Visit BigHerc916.com to pick up a limited edition GTA poster signed by me for $10, or with your purchase of a Wig Splitter Porsche t-shirt, I'll throw in a free poster. The po-pos are coming. I gotta hurry up and wash my ass. Go to BigHerc916.com, pick you up a bar of soap, and wash your ass, or else you're gonna be under arrest too. Oh shit.